This was a true vision I saw. Before this time, no one had told me about this, and I had not read of this event from the Bible. I was a young believer who had just decided to take God seriously and follow Christ with all of my heart. But I remember very well, I told God to show me something. I mean, something that would make my Christian walk with Him more solid, something I could see and know for a fact that following Him is beyond what is written in the Bible. I wanted to have an experience I could hold on to, an experience that would be my own testimony, an experience that would mark my own journey as I walked with Him. I knew where I was coming from, and I knew that I needed something more than just the written word. I knew I needed an experience, an encounter, and so I asked the Lord for one. The Lord has shown me many visions over the years, but this one had a great impact among them in my life. I was not fully asleep, neither was I fully awake, but then I had a vision. I saw everywhere being destroyed by creatures flying, pouring fire over the earth. Immediately I knew these were dragons. In fact, before this time, I thought dragons were what I had watched in movies, having wings, looking very huge and big. But what I saw in this vision changed completely my mindset about what dragons look like. These were not beasts of fantasy. They were ancient, serpentine, coiled with malice older than memory. When the Lord took me to the scripture to show me what I had seen, it was explaining everything, how the dragon looked. Scripture called him the old serpent, and that is the same serpent that deceived mankind in the Garden of Eden. I saw people on the earth like the sand of the seashore, too large to number, but among them I saw some like walking dead people. I was still trying to grasp what this looked like. What is the meaning of what I am seeing? I mean, why would humans be mixed with those who have died, came out from the grave, and are walking among humans? But while I was still processing all of this, I saw another set of creatures. Immediately I knew these were demons, and at this time they were no longer hiding. It seemed as though they now had superior authority over those who were left on the earth. With different weapons in their hands, they inflicted pain on the people of the earth, and yet no one seemed to be dying. Weapons were given to the people on the earth, not by choice, but by force, as if being prepared for war against an opposition coming to them. It was more like they had no choice of their own, but were meant to do whatsoever the creatures on the land level wanted them to do. I saw chaos all over the place, all over the world. Then, while I was processing all of that, I saw the heavens open, and I saw a king, brightness all over him, a crown on his head, riding on a horse. But this time, he wasn't looking friendly. He was coming for war. Immediately I knew this was Jesus, leading the heavenly army. I saw behind him a great army, too many to number. And almost immediately, I saw myself among the armies coming to fight these creatures. And also immediately, I saw that other saints of God were all equipped for this battle. Immediately I knew that the battle at the last days, where Satan and his allies are going to be thrown into eternal condemnation, it is not only angels alone who will come for the battle, but the saints of God will come for the battle. This made complete sense when you understand the scripture that said, "The saints of God shall judge the world." And we engaged in battle with these creatures, starting with the serpents and the dragons flying over the sky. In the heat of this battle, one of the serpents flew straight to me, and I kept fighting him. And then he poured fire from his mouth. I covered myself with the shield, and that was how I woke up, scared, terrified because of what I saw. It felt so real that the place I was became very cold, and I was scared to death. After a while, I began to catch my breath, but for 1 year, I never spoke of what I saw to anybody. I was too scared to share it. I was too scared to believe it. I was too scared to believe that I was going to be among the armies, because to me, I said, what have I done? I just started following God, and I am shown this kind of revelation? After 1 year, a voice walked into my room and said, "You were not shown what you were shown to keep it to yourself. You must tell the world." And then I told him, "People will not believe me. What I saw is not in the scriptures. Can you point one verse to me?" And before the voice faded away, he mentioned Revelation 20. I picked up my Bible and I began to read. And yes, it was there, boldly written. But before this time, I was too scared to read the book of Revelation. Verse 2 and 3 of the book of Revelation chapter 20 said, "He laid hold of the dragon, that serpent of old, who is the devil and Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years, and he cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal on him, so that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years were finished. But after these things, he must be released for a little while." Verse 7 said, "Blessed and holy is he who has part in the first resurrection. Over such the second death has no power." When I read this passage, the Lord made me understand that those who are going to go in the first rapture are to consider themselves blessed. And what I had just seen is the second death spoken about. The second death is the separation from God and the eternal condemnation of Satan and those who followed after him. Verse 7 to 10 said, "Now when the 1,000 years have expired, Satan will be released from his prison and will go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, whose number is as the sand of the sea. They went up on the breadth of the earth and surrounded the camp of the saints and the beloved city. And fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them. The devil who deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and they will be tormented day and night forever." This was the vision the Lord showed me, and you can take your time to read this chapter and also prepare your heart. And I pray the Lord bless you.